Hello bakers, and welcome back to another Taste of Theatre special here on the Baking Bible. Now this week we're whipping up something for Our Ladies of Perpetual Succour. It is such an incredible show, but it's in its final week at the Duke of York Theatre. If you haven't seen it yet but you've got some free time this weekend, it's definitely worth going to see. So fire up the TodayTix app and get yourself some last minute tickets. The girls of Our Ladies had quite a wild night out on Hooch, so I've created this Hooch Infused lemon sponge cake decorated to match the iconic stained glass windows from the show. Our Ladies of Perpetual Succour follows the journey of a group of Catholic schoolgirls who turn their average school trip into quite the night to remember. Or not, as the case may be. The comedy is based on the 1998 novel The Sopranos by Alan Warner, and it's been adapted for the stage by Lee Hall, who also wrote Billy Elliot. It's a brilliant coming-of-age story that will leave you in stitches, but it also deals with some serious themes of sexuality, physical and mental health along the way. For the cake batter, you'll need to beat your butter and sugar together until light and fluffy. Slowly add in your eggs with the occasional spoonful of flour if the mixture begins to curdle. Add in the remainder of your flour, mixed spice, lemon zest and vanilla, and continue to mix as you pour in a splash of your signature hooch. To carry the stained glass design through the cake, I've dyed the mix into various colours and then randomly placed them into a greased and lined baking tin. Once all your mix is in, give it a gentle shake to even out. Use a cocktail stick to bring the colours together, but be careful not to overmix. Bake the cake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. While the cake's baking, let's talk about the cast. Now, it's no surprise that they were all nominated for an Olivier Award or that it won Best New Comedy. During the show, you'll see the girls narrating the story of their night out, but also reenacting some of the key anecdotes. What's really clever here is that there's no supporting cast, so all of the characters in the stories are actually impersonated by the girls themselves. It's an incredibly talented all-female cast who make the show look effortless and authentic. While the cakes are cooling, you can make your hooch syrup by heating together sugar and some hooch in a pan. Once the sugar has completely dissolved, remove from the heat and top up with some more hooch. This is to make sure that all the alcohol doesn't burn off. Level off your sponges and then generously cover with your hooch infused syrup. Next, you'll need to make your buttercream by whisking together butter, icing sugar and a few tablespoons of syrup. Spread an even layer of your buttercream over the top of one sponge layer and then sandwich the other layer on top. Crumb coat the outside and then place in the fridge to chill for an hour. Once set, add a second coat of icing and then return to the fridge. While the cakes are cooling, let's talk about the music. The angelic choir group ditched their innocent church songs for the more rebellious soundtrack based on ELO's greatest hits. Now, if the name doesn't ring any bells, you probably still have heard of their songs without realising, particularly Mr. Blue Sky, which will have you humming along in your seat. Now, the soundtrack is actually the perfect match for the show's humour and heartbreak, and the cast do a brilliant job of bringing it to life with their stunning vocals. To finish the cake, you'll need to roll out some black fondant icing to about half a centimetre thick, and then use a rolling pin to place this over your cake. Smooth over the top and sides and then trim off the excess. For the stained glass details, I've coloured some more fondant and then cut them into squares and rectangles. For our large title block, I've used an edible marker to draw on the show's logo. Secure the coloured blocks onto the cake with a little hot water or fondant glue, and you're done. This Hooch infused cake is the perfect way to start off your wild night out, Our Ladies style. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed our Hooch infused cake inspired by Our Ladies of Perpetual Succour. If you've seen the show already, let me know down below in the comments what you thought, and if you haven't, what are you waiting for? You've still got time, so check out the TodayTix app to find yourself some last minute tickets. That's all for now. If you want to see some more theatre inspired treats, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.